All right, Cyber Traders, good morning and welcome on back to a brand new week, albeit Tuesday, February 22nd. Great to see all of us live inside the Cyber Group room. Michael, Grant, Leda, Chris, Dylan, great to see everybody. William, Lewis, Mark, Ray, all of us now joining us otherwise live inside Cyber Group. And hey, if you're joining us on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube, you could probably tell at this point, this is not Fausto Pugliese, of course. My name is Josh Levitan. Well, not of course, if you're unfamiliar with me doing the afternoon meetings, typically Monday through Friday, of course, inside the Cyber Group room. And I'll tag in for Fausto in the mornings when needed. So Fausto is actually in Florida right now. He's doing a bit of content with our media team down there, actually shooting a commercial. He'll actually be down there, I think, for the remainder of this week. So you got me here for the mornings. And actually, I wanted to make it up for all of us on YouTube or Facebook Live. If you tend to specifically check in with Fausto here in the mornings, well, hey, you got me here for the week. But I want to let everybody on social media know right away, and I'll reiterate this at the end of this meeting. I normally do this a couple times across the entire calendar year, but today being Tuesday, inside the Cyber Group room, of course, we'll still be conducting our live Traders Talk workshop for all of us there. But a couple of times a year, I like to do this across YouTube. So please, for all of us on YouTube or Facebook Live today, go right to our YouTube channel. That'll be right at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. That'll be status quo for all of us live inside Cyber Group. You could just stay right inside the trading room. It will essentially be a simulcast today. But hey, if you wanted to join us live for social media, just stay on YouTube or be on YouTube rather at 11:05 Eastern Time, and then we'll look to begin the live workshop right from that point. This is a special Q&A workshop that we conduct every Tuesday inside our live trading room, where we have a better chance to really break down the X's and O's as far as why a stock is making a particular type of move. And to be transparent, because we had President's Day yesterday, markets were closed, of course, we're likely going to be covering the stocks that we'll be putting on our morning watch list right now. So without further ado, no better place to start than right from the top here. INDO is number 5 right now on the gainers list. Hey, it's pulling back a bit, ended up making a nice pop prior to this meeting starting. We've done pretty well on this trade back a month ago, basically, right? Like 3 weeks ago, almost 4 weeks ago at this point, ended up making a big pop at the end of January. So, hey, at least it's one that we're familiar with. Right now, I have no problem putting this INDO just on the morning watch list to begin. I don't have any news out on this INDO trade. I'm just checking my Benzinga Pro right now. There's no new headline, nothing even from February 14th. So that's all right. I mean, hey, we don't need to, have news on the stock in order to trade it. If it's just more of a short squeeze than anything, then we need to follow the volume. So for right now, I'd say, look to see this pull back down closer to $5 and see what happens there. All right, but like I said, we'll start right from the top. No better place to than start right from the top here. IMPP, it's actually a cheapie, but it was flying up much earlier in pre-market, and it's actually making a new HOD right now. So, hey, whatever reason the stock is moving up, we'll take it. IMPP, we'll definitely add this to our list. Hey, we normally don't trade the cheapies that are below $1 because normally, at least, they don't make as clear or as concise of a move. Well, this is a pretty concise move to me. It's not even up as much as we've seen a lot of these runners over the last, 3 to 4 trading days. From the end of last week, we had all those crazy runners, right? We had the ANGH trade, we had the KSCP trade, a bunch of these others, off the top of my head, perhaps ISPO, it's on the losers list there. But IMPP, let's just check the news here for this one as well. I got a little time for the meanwhile here. I'll tell you, I don't have any news on this one either. I don't know if Benzinga Pro's slacking or what, or maybe there's just no news on this. I would like to think that there would be for it to be up 60+% or near 60%. But yeah, for right now, we'll put this on our watch list here, see if it can make a higher low at least by the time the market opens up. All right, so we'll keep it going. I'm not going to keep checking the news for every stock, especially if there's not as much news out there for a Tuesday morning. But nonetheless, MTOR, I think I know the news on this. I don't need to check Benzinga Pro at least. Anytime we see a stock up this much or, up around this amount and it's just as flat as can be, our assumption is a buyout. So we know buyouts don't move. So, even if it's not, we're going to pass on this trade. It's just not really doing us too much here in pre-market. And you could say the same thing on this HMHC trade. I don't know if they're related or not. Don't care to check. That's it. Now, this OCGN trade, I did have the news on this earlier, so I'm actually just going to scroll up in the trading room and just repost that for all of us here as I did earlier. So, OCGN, this is just a stock that we've been very familiar with dating back to the beginning of the pandemic, dating back to the beginning of 2020. So, OCGN, at least this morning, trading higher after the company announced the FDA has lifted its clinical hold on the company's COVID-19 vaccine study in the US. And this was more of a pop, if I'm not mistaken, in the after hours back from Friday, afternoon, right? I didn't even catch this at the time, but just checking in on it early this morning, I ended up seeing the big pop and run from the after hours back from Friday last week, 350 up to near 520. It looks like even 525. So that's a pretty big range, right? So that is one huge reason to follow this trade to begin with. The other is just for a lot of us inside the live trading room, at least here, maybe not all of us, but hey, if you're a longtime student, if you've been a member of CTU for any longer than a few months, then you're pretty familiar with this trade. OCGN has really good liquidity on the order book, consistently tight spread. So that's all we could ask for out of any type of trade here in pre-market, and especially for one that we're familiar with. Right now, at least, it's making lower highs and pulling back down, trending down off the highs there. So, I'm not ready to jump in this thing just yet, mind you, but it's definitely one that we'd rather keep a closer eye on after the open. I'm sure at some point today, this thing will look to make a nice, bottom or, squeeze back up for us to capitalize on. All right. Perhaps you could say the same thing on all these trades here. The DWAC, the PHUN, the CFEI chart wasn't looking as hot earlier, but you can kind of lump that in with it. It's all of the Trump stocks kind of together. I think his new social media platform, Truth Media, I think it's called Truth Social Media, out today. Folks, you didn't come here to listen to my opinion about all of that, and I would just ask the same for you folks. This is a live professional trading room. We're not really going to talk as much about that as we will just about the iceberg orders that could be out there on the book for a stock like DWAC or for a stock like PHUN. So I wrote that earlier inside the live trading room. Just the fact that we had a smaller support on the bid at $95 for the DWAC trade, we had a bigger support at 90. So what I want to do even is just show level 4 as Fausto would at least here in this meeting. And you could just see that we did have support at 95. It broke under it, but it's just kind of flat here in the meantime. And that's not a good sign for a reversal just yet. Looks like we might have some volume joining the bid here. If this perhaps holds, then maybe that's a different story. But the more selling that we have here at 95, it's going to happen. It's going to drop much closer to the next major level here at 90. So that's kind of my expectation here on the DWAC trade. PHUN, PHUN, obviously a lot cheaper, and they move together. So I like these two as a tandem. So definitely put them on our watch list. We've done really well on both. The DWAC, the PHUN, the CFEI as well. CFEI was also a stock back from, I think, last month or even the beginning of this month, February still. We ended up seeing it break all-time highs, right? And this is part of the same conglomerate, part of the same group of stocks there with Trump. So, I ended up making a huge pop in the beginning of February that we took advantage of. It is shortable today. And we did take advantage of the short a couple of days afterwards, too. It was hard to borrow from that point, but actually shortable this morning. I can put this on our list here, but I want to see what else is out there in the meantime first. I like the PHUN and the DWAC a lot more. It's just good day trades for us to follow. INDO, there's our drop to 5. So I said we'd kind of see what would happen at the whole number there off of $5. So, once the order book fills in, even after the market opens up, I'd feel a lot better about following that stock. But definitely still on our watch list for right now. All right, and we'll keep it going. For any one of us joining us on social media right now that missed the beginning of this meeting, of course, once again, this is not Fausto Pugliese. My name is Josh Levitan. Later on this morning, we'll be conducting a special workshop for you folks on social media, a simulcast of our Traders Talk workshop. We like to do this maybe 2 or 3 times across the entire calendar year. So, it's something that we do every week inside Cyber Group. For all of us there inside the trading room right now, you don't need to go anywhere. Just stay right put. We'll kind of run the trading room as normal here, just as usual here for Tuesday. All right, let's see what else we got on the loser side here, folks. Not a whole lot left on the gainers list for right now. Market dropped off a little bit after the 8 a.m. push. Right now, kind of topping the losers list here are all the runners that we had back from, I think, the end of last week. The CSCW, not as much, but it was more the ISPO, the Sky H trade. Man, this thing just got clobbered. I don't know what happened here. Listen, it's hard to borrow and it's very close to the ground floor. So, hey, if this was like a DraftKings or a Palantir type of drop off earnings like we took advantage of last week, that would be a lot different. But I don't know. Right now, this thing, even though it just got crushed, I mean, this could be a small dead cat bounce opportunity, but I'd rather pass. But I was saying, though, all these runners, though, from the end of last week, Friday, Sky H, we had KPTI, if I'm not mistaken, from Friday, ended up making a nice pop and run in the mid morning. The ISPO is the one that stole the show. Stock went from like $5 up to 100 plus within the course of a few days. Right now, this thing is just kind of spotty on the chart, down big still, still kind of slumping off. So there's not as much to really look at on those types of trades, at least just yet. Maybe later in the morning, if they provide some type of bounce or opportunity, then that's different. But let's see what else is on this losers list here. I think this is the Russia ETF. Yeah. All right, there's a whole lot going on out there in the world this morning, folks. I'm not going to talk out of pocket here and talk as if I know about any of it. It's obviously not a good headline altogether for the market. We are expecting the drop off on Bitcoin, and we'll come out with another video probably by Wednesday on that. It's a busy week here at CTU. We have phase 2 class lined up Wednesday this week. Traders talk obviously later on this morning. Fausto out. All right, folks, I think that just about wraps it up for me on the losers list. I know there's more. I know there's definitely more out there to look at. So if there's anything else that you see, anything else that comes across your plate, let me know. Got from Jose here on YouTube saying, good morning. Yes, OCGN made a big move Friday at the close. Made some money on that. Looking for another move for more gains if it goes that way. Yeah, absolutely. OCGN. We don't need to make a big list here, folks. So we'll go through some side list stocks, but we have 5 already on the list. I feel like that's as good of a start as we can get, especially with OCGN on there and PHUN, PHUN. Those are 2 stocks that we've done really well on and are pretty inexpensive and have really liquid order books. So, again, there's not much else you could really ask for. DraftKings was down more than 5% throughout the pre-market, trying to, I guess, make a small climb back up or a small little bounce, as you could see here. Ended up getting crushed from Friday right off of earnings. So this would definitely be a stock I could just put back on our watch list as a great stock to follow here that can move with the market or still drop off the earnings. So I don't mind doing that. And this looks way more active of a chart compared to like the CFVI right now. Check out like an AMC, a SoFi stock. AMC, it's always tradable. Nothing really too special about it just yet. I mean, perhaps you could say the same on a DraftKings, but DraftKings is down more this morning, and it ended up making a much bigger move percentage-wise from Friday. So still kind of reeling off the volatility from the end of last week, I feel. We'll pop on BTU. That's a swing trade type of stock. Trading 46,000 shares, like up 2%. Neo trade looks really active in pre-market, over 1 million shares traded pre-market. It's down over 3% still. But, hey, I'll kind of just keep this on the side list as well right now, Michael. So I like Neo myself, but I'm not going to put this on the main special, watch list just yet. I want to keep our focus at least on the ones that are up or down the most so far. All right, folks, I think that's all you got from me here this morning. Again, for all of us on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube, I cannot stress this enough because this was a pretty on-the-fly decision. Normally, we would have this prepped up a week in advance for you, to be honest. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask me for this morning's Traders Talk workshop, for all of us live inside the trading room, again, you don't need to go anywhere, but you folks know best at this point. Send over a quick email right over to josh@ctutrading.com, or you could private chat me if it's live inside the trading room like Alan or Bill or Mark did earlier. But otherwise, for all of us on watching YouTube or Facebook Live. If you're looking to join me later on this morning, just go right to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/cybertradingu. Give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe and like. But otherwise, if you have any questions, feel more than free to send it right on over to my email address, josh@ctutrading.com. All right, but for all of us there right now, hey, we're going to keep the commentary going. We're going to take a small break for about 15 minutes. Once the market opens up, I'm going to jump right back on the mic and we'll see where these stocks that we have on the watch list take us. All right, folks, talk to you all soon.
Today, you are invited into the world of Fausto Pugliese, who battles some of the best traders in the world to win the Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.